kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds, and when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me.
After an absolute scorcher last week in Nashville, we come to the great state of Virginia for the Virginia is for Lovers 150 here tonight at Richmond. Round 18 of the iSNF Sunday Night Cup Series. Tony Trapasso up in the booth with you tonight as qualifying getting underway here. Let's bring up a little bit of action. And there is qualifying mode. Clarence Prince out on track right now as series debutant Andrew Cootie jumping out to the early P1 position. Zach Taylor currently sitting in second. Chris Warrell in the Irwin Tools 20 blistering one. And we are currently working on trying to get some help up here in the booth as my normal partner in crime, Mr. Dave Regal, trying to find the session and unfortunately having some difficulties doing so.
Just rooting around here in the dark, Tony.
Interesting. Not sure exactly what's going on, Dave. But
working on it.
again, qualifying underway. Travis Browder out on track right now as we are going to check in with the Myrtle Beach native, subbing in the 18 here tonight. Lap number 2 for Browder, going to put him up 5th quick. Damian Mulvey jumps up to 5th quick, bouncing Browder down. Jalen Battle on his first lap puts him 4th quick as Skylar Carnes now goes 3rd quick. There's Jalen with a good head of steam hauling it off into turn number 3. A little bit different look for Richmond as I'm used to seeing this place under lights, but an afternoon race here. Take a quick look at our weather conditions while we're checking in with Skylar Carnes, as he is not going to improve on his second lap. So let's check out with JB Banner. 82-degree ambient air temperature, overcast skies, 3-mile-an-hour winds, 86-degree track temperature. So relatively cool conditions these guys are going to be dealing with. The guys and gals are going to be dealing with tonight. As let's see what's going. Points leader Linus Brostrom going to jump out to 4th quick. As Marcus Hagman on his first lap, not a good one. Going to go 23rd quick. Brostrom not going to improve, stays 4th quick. Let's see what Hagman does. Good head of steam coming out of turn number 4. Hagman does improve up to 4th quick, bumping Brostrom. As Brian Treadwell just finishing his second lap, going to slide in 29th quick. 3 cars left to still qualify or lay down any time whatsoever. Actually, Johnny Castle, the only one left to put in a time. Isaac Wilson brushed the wall on both of his laps to negate both times. Bob Wyckoff electing to not take a time in qualifying. Richmond, not the easiest track to get around. As Dave, unfortunately, I don't have an answer for you.
Yeah, I'm just about to have a full-on meltdown here, buddy. I hate to leave you hanging.
Well, unfortunately, Jason Sawford under the weather tonight, so I am going to be rocking solo here as qualifying does come to an end. Take a quick look at our starting grid. Chris Warrell setting quick time here tonight with a 21.363. He's going to be joined up on the front row with series debutant Andrew Cootie. Skylar Carnes and Marcus Hagman rolling off in row number 2. Linus Brostrom and Jalen Battle making up row number 3. Row 4 goes to Charles Robertson and Zach Taylor. Damian Mulvey and Travis Browder in row number 5. Row 6 brings us Brian Chu and Justin Barkley. Dan Solo and Chase Harden going to make up row number 7. Row 8, Adam Duff and Mike Iskandar. Jason Ricketts and Eugene Thorne rolling off in row number 9. Row 10 goes to Ricky Hudgens and Rhea Ferris. Zach Weimer and Derek Cook rolling off in row number 11. Row 12 is going to go to Stephen Sear and Robert Rowe. Row number 13, Sami Stanley and Clarence Prince. JB Banner and John Hopley rolling off in row number 14. Row 15 goes to Brian Treadwell and Casey Tomlinson. Isaac Wilson and Bob Wyckoff in row number 16. And starting shotgun on the field in the 33 is going to be in the 34 is going to be Johnny Castle. So 33 cars scheduled to roll off here tonight, as we are just waiting for a few stragglers to grid up. 200 laps of scheduled distance, 65% fuel fill, 5 sets of tires to get it done with here tonight. And a Dairy Queen limit of 21 here at Richmond. Very difficult track to get around, as turns 1 and 2 are a decreasing radius corner set, and turns 3 and 4 are an increased radius turn set, with banking. So flat in 1 and 2, banked in 3 and 4. Wall comes up real quick coming off a 2, so something to be real mindful of. As the field starts to roll, let me get that out of the way. Chris Warrell going to have the button as the field works its way up behind the Ford Mustang GT500 pace car, the official pace car of iRacing. Warrell, Cody, Carnes, Hagman, Brostrom, Battle, Robertson, Taylor, and Mulvey and Browder, your top 10 as the field worked its way into the 3-4 complex. Pace car getting ready to duck on off. The only thing... No, I'm sorry. This is a 3/4 mile track. So, pace car making its way around, and you can see it right there, the decreasing radius to turn 2. That wall will come up and bite you very quickly, and then you got to worry about getting loose coming off of 4 if you're set up for 2 properly. 33 cars scheduled to roll it off here tonight at Richmond as the pace car gets ready to duck on off to go down pit road. Warrell going to have the button as we're ready to turn them loose for 200 laps here at Richmond. The only thing that's left for me to say is it's time to wipe the visor, adjust the 5-point harness. Grandma, pop some popcorn, because it's time to get it on in the Virginia Lovers State. Race
Green,
fans,
green.
it's showtime! Warrell gets a good jump. Jumps up to block off the 2 of Cody as Carnes going to reel in the 20 up into the number 2 spot. Big swings being made back right around the 2 of Charles Robertson. And just like that, we are under caution already. Looks like Chase Harden having issues. Keep your eye on the 77. On the top side, coming off the 2 is not where you really want to be. Gets into the wall, gets a little bit squirrely, dives down, and has help from the 0. Collects Iskandar and collects the 23. Why do I not have a 23 listed? That's Eugene Thorne. So let's watch that one again, shall we? We are going to jump up and see what our good friends in the sky picked up in the chopper. Again, you see the 77 up on the top side. And just Salo sends it in on the inside. Not enough room to make it happen. Thorne catching a piece of it. Iskandar catching a piece of it. The 3 of Duff able to squeeze by. And we are under caution number 1. We are back live. And you see Charles Robertson running for Team Penske Racing in that Alliance number 2. Beautiful looking Mustang tonight. Never thought I'd hear those words actually come out of my own mouth. As there is your race leader, your pole sitter, the Nacho Man himself, Chris Warrell. And anybody that's ever heard a Warrell interview knows that he is the John Force of the iSNF. You never know what's going to come out of that kid's mouth. But Skylar Carnes already making some positions up. Your biggest mover so far, though, is this man in the 16, Brian Treadwell, up 7. JB Banner in the Hendrick Motorsports Ally number 48, also up 7 spots, as is the 14 of Isaac Wilson, rocking the Stuart Haas Mustang there. Currently working lap 5 of 200. Lights are still on the pace car, as it doesn't look like anybody went down pit road. And just as I say that, Casey Harden in the 77 is on pit road. Tommy Stanley and Eugene Thorne both going down to get some damage repaired. Johnny Castle and Ricky Hudgens both electing to not start tonight. As lights should be going out on the pace car this time by. There they go, and here we go. Warrell electing to take the inside on the restart. And the 52, unfortunately, not making it out in time. That is Hudgens. Looks like he's going to try to tack on to the tail end of the field. And we are going single file. Since we didn't get a lap in under green. Pace car getting ready to duck on off as they work their way through the 3-4 complex. Warrell has the trigger, works his way into the Geico restart zone.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag is out, and we are back underway as heavy pressure from Skylar Carnes as he works the inside of Warrell now. He's going to bring Judy with him. Judy working the inside of the 20 of Warrell right now. Warrell able to defend on the high side, carrying the momentum down the front chute, trying to reel in Skylar Carnes. Carnes in command right now. Here comes Linus Brostrom as connection issues hit the Swede, and he disappears for some reason. Not sure exactly what just happened. Both Brostrom and Hagman, the two Swedes, have both just disappeared. So that's no bueno. 3-car breakaway at the front of this piece. Carnes, Warrell, and Cody. And you see Cody there in the 10. Defending series champion Jalen Battle sitting back there. Defending regular season champion, I might say. As he is getting worked over right now by Charles Robinson and Zach Taylor. There's Taylor in the 8. Substitute driver. As the 51 of Damian Mulvey, the lone Irishman in the field. What just took place there? And I don't have it. Looks like something happened with Tommy Stanley. There is Stanley. Coming out of 2, way off the pace. So it was not Tommy Stanley. Guessing it had something to do with Jeff Weimer. Oh, yes, it did. As we are going to take a look at what happened here with Weimer. Just bounces it off the turn 4 wall, gets down into the 15. And then loops it at the exit of the pit. Oi, hang on to her, son. 6 of John Hobley just came screaming in there. There's Ricketts bouncing off the wall, goes down into the 15 of Weimer. They both go across the grass, spins it, and then Hopley just barely missing it through there. Wow. So that brings us to our second caution. Bristol, Tennessee native Skylar Carnes showing the way here tonight. I want to thank everybody for joining us in the live chat. As Kobe the GOAT saying, let's go Skylar. And I do want to thank everybody for joining us right now. If you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button and turn on bell notifications so you don't miss a single moment of action here on the Esports Broadcasting Network. As we do this every night of the week, and we got a special event coming up this coming Saturday as Racing Against the Stigma 200 at Vegas in the trucks, with proceeds from that buy-in event to go to Sim Racing for Mental Health. So we will be doing 7 nights a week this week, and the vast majority of the nights we've got at least double headers as the lights do go out on the pace car. Carnes has the button. Warrell going to be starting on the outside of row number 1. Round 18 of the iSNF Sunday Night Cup Series. Tony Trapasso in the booth with you tonight. Carnes, after starting third, leading this piece right now. Pace car is in. Carnes has the button as the field worked its way into the Geico restart zone. Green flag is in the air, and we are back underway at Richmond, working lap 17 of 200. Carnes going to send it in on Warrell. Warrell trying to keep his foot in it on the top side, flirting with that wall up there. As slots in around Cody in the 10. The battle right now is for third. That is Jalen Battle on the top side in the Exalted number 24, working the 10, as Charles Robertson right there as well. Still in lockstep for third place. Battle trying to get the run off of 4. Going to have the nose out front, but the advantage right now goes to Cody on the inside as they hold off into turns 1 and 2. Battle, though, able to defend quite well on the top side. A little bit behind them is Dan Solo in the 00, working on the lone Irishman in the field. That is Damian Mulvey in the 51. Cody and Battle continue to throw hand grenades at each other. A little bit further back, Isaac Wilson in the 14 is already up 18. Running in the number 13 spot as he is working on Steven Sear right now. As Sear is working on Treadwell. Treadwell has to check up just a little bit to stay off Iskandar. Hey, hang on to her. A little bit of a sketchy moment for Treadwell on the top side. That jacks Wilson up just a little bit, stacks him up a little. We've got a lot of guys showing connection issues tonight. Not a good sign this early in the event. Justin Barkley and John Hopley going after it. That's Barkley in the 21, Hopley in the 6. Tampa, Florida native. Gonna wrestle the 16th spot back away from Hopley, trying to make some headway. Now Barkley is down far from where he started, but starting to turn that around. Bob Wyckoff now works the inside of Hopley. Here comes... That is a lap car of Linus Brostrom, I believe. Yes, it is. Connection issues not being nice right now to your points leader. '41 of Wyckoff has to deal now with the lap car Marcus Hagman, and here comes the 3 of Duff to follow Hagman through. Oy. Hang on to her. Adam Duff almost gets into Wyckoff. He's going to hemorrhage a couple of spots. Matter of fact, Ricketts, Ferris, and Weimer all going to get by him. And now he's got to climb back through the field. Meanwhile, Mulvey and Browder going after each other. That is Browder in the 18, Mulvey in the 51, and here comes the 00 of Solo. Browder has a little bit of trouble getting through turns 3 and 4. Now he's going to fall back into the clutches of his Joe Gibbs Racing teammate. That is Brian Chu in the 11. As we've got pockets starting to form all throughout this piece. Scooty has gotten by Warrell. Warrell going to battle back though. Scooty on the top side. Warrell, your pole sitter on the low side. Skylar Carnes is about 3/4 of a second up the road from this battle for second. Warrell sends it in. Cody, though, going to get a better run coming off of 4. Warrell's going to pinch him up. Cody, though, keeps his foot in it as they haul it off into turn number 1. He's just going to send it. Completely misses the braking zone. That's going to let Warrell get a better run off of 2 as he brushes, or Cody brushes the wall. Cody driving like a man possessed right now. Warrell going to give him the chrome horn down the front chute. Better get that sorted out because Jalen Battle is closing in on them. A little bit further back, Rhea Ferris making some headway right now as she's working on the 41 of Bob Wyckoff. The 9 of Jason Ricketts has already gotten around Wyckoff to get back into the 17th spot. Wyckoff, a little bit of trouble, a little bit squirrely coming off of 2. That was a moment. Ferris backs off, as does Weimer. Weimer, though, going to get a better run. Ferris down on the low side, and you can see a ton of damage on the backside of that Advanced Auto Parts Ford Mustang already. And she has received the chrome horn from someone. As Wyckoff, boy! Wyckoff gets sent down the track, and he's going to hemorrhage spots right now. And a lot of those are lap cars. The rest of the field's starting to get a little strung out right now, but the biggest battle is going to be between the 6 of John Hopley and the 3 of Adam Duff. Hopley's RFK number 6 on the top side. Yikes. And they're 3 wide. The 33 of Tommy Stanley, just ZFG right there. And that lets the 15 of Jeff Weimer get by the 6 of Hopley. Ferris not having a good run coming off of 4. She's going to give up a spot to Wyckoff. Wyckoff up 10 from where he started. Here comes the very wounded 23 of Eugene Thorne.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
Contact, and we are under caution. Well, let's see that again. See Thorne in the 23. Good head of steam coming off of turn number 2. Thinks about making it 3 wide. And just contact with the 12, 77, catching a piece of it as well. And that's probably going to be the night for the 12. Let's see what happened with Chase Harden here. And you see him, he got a piece of that one. Matter of fact, let's go on board. They slid up the track, he guessed wrong, and boom goes the dynamite. And something happened with Solo and Mulvey. See what happened here with the 00. Well, that would explain what happened with Solo and Mulvey. Mulvey was trying to take evasive action. Solo just ran him flat over from behind. As you would expect to see, wholesale pit stops taking place. We are back live. Again, 5 sets of tires to get him through tonight. Warrell electing to take fuel only. Isaac Wilson stays out. As do a whole bunch of cars trying to get the wave around. Freshest set of tires are going to belong to this man right here in the 24. Atlanta, Georgia's own Jalen Battle. As Wilson now comes down pit road. Warrell and Browder both winning the battle off pit road there. You see the 2 JGR teammates both electing to take fuel only, as does Brian Chu in the 11 and the 19 of Steven Sears. So all 4 JGR cars electing to take fuel only. Chu, Robertson, Mulvey, Solo, Carnes, all electing to take 4 in fuel. So, going to be interesting to see what type of different we're going to see between the haves and the have-nots here. Again, if you are just joining us, you are watching the Virginia is for Lovers 200 from Richmond. Tony Trapanso up at the booth with you tonight. Want to thank everybody for joining us in the live chat. If you haven't done so already, give this video a thumbs up. It really helps share it with the YouTube algorithm. And if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button and turn on bell notifications, as we are currently trying to get to 2,500 subscribers here on the Esports Broadcasting Network. Warrell and Browder, the 2 JGR teammates, are going to be joined with their teammate Brian Chu. So 3 JGR cars in the top 4,
Green flag.
4
green
in the
flag.
top 6. As the green flag comes back out, Warrell pulls the trigger. Browder going with him, as now Browder has to deal with Jalen Battle. It's Battle all over the inside, getting pressure from Robertson in the deuce. Damian Mulvey looks like he might be stacking him up behind him. As here comes Skylar Carnes on the fresh shoes. And just as I say that, Battle for the lead. Battle going for the lead on the fresh tires. Going to bring Robertson with him. as Warrell took fuel only. Robertson and Battle took tires, and that is exactly what they are showing right now. And we're back under caution. I don't have it. No idea what the caution was for. Let's see what we've got here. There it is. Well, there it is. No idea what the caution is for, ladies and gentlemen. I do apologize. SDK did not pick it up, so. But right now, Atlanta, Georgia's Jalen Battle currently showing the way. As Mike Iskandar going to get one of his laps, or going to get his lap back to get back on the lead lap. As Eugene Thorne, Brian Treadwell, and Bob Wyckoff bring him down pit road. Like Ford fuel for those three gents. And if I haven't mentioned it already, if you would like to support the league, go ahead and drop a comment saying that you would like to get involved, and we can get you in touch with the chief cook and bottle washer of the iSNF Cup Series, Miss Rhea Ferris. They are looking for series sponsors. They have different levels available to fit your budget, but you know, it doesn't take a whole lot of money to be able to call it, you know, whatever you would like to name it as the Cup Series here for the iSNF. Currently working lap 48 of 200 here from Richmond. As joining me now is a good friend of the league and defending series champion, Mr. Francisco Villarreal. And Francisco, I thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Pleasure's all mine. I mean, I've started games with broadcasting side of it. It's pretty fun, so I saw that you need your broadcaster kind of had some issues, so figured I'd hop in and help out and enjoy this Richmond race.
Well, Jason is feeling under the weather right now, so unfortunately he is in bed and no one else was available to be able to get in. But you know, Richmond, the site of one of your more dominating performances last time we were here. What are your thoughts coming into tonight?
Well, I know last race that iSNF did here, it really was about tires and how you entered the corners. I made the mistake in that race, as a matter of fact, where I entered the braking zone a little too hard and spun the car out. So it's really important to see how these guys enter the corner and how they're able to maintain the momentum. because I know you spoke about it earlier. If they don't hit that mark just right, that wall really comes up and gets you quick.
Oh boy. Looks like Jeff Weimer bringing out the caution. Let's see what happens to the 15 here. As there he is on the top side. They went 3 wide in front of him. And looks like he may have had help. Oh, yes, he did.
I think the one sent it a little
flat,
too deep.
Flat run over by the one. And that caused issues for others. Looks like Derek Cook catching a piece of it as well.
Now, the good thing about Richmond is, now, if I'm not mistaken, they do have no faster bears. Is that correct?
Correct.
So, with that being said, depending on how much damage you have, it won't be too bad for them as long as you're not down on power. Because damage, you can kind of deal with it, manage it. You're going to be a little bit tighter. The car handles a little bit differently. But as long as you're not good on power, it's not like other tracks where aero really plays a factor.
Right, but, for the most part, you definitely need the front splitter. You don't necessarily need the back end of the car, but that front splitter is going to be life and death here today, being as the turn in going into one is going to dictate what type of lap you can lay down here. You can be all right going into 3 and 4 with the higher banking over there, but you've got to get the turn in going into 1, or else you're probably going to eat the wall coming off of 2.
Oh, for sure. I know with damage on these cars, or at least with the damage mode, it typically makes the car tighter. So it'll be interesting to see how some of these cars handle with damage and how they kind of lap times they put up.
Yeah, absolutely. It's, we do see a lot of cars with damage here right now. A lot of cars also, multiple laps down this early. It's kind of surprising. And, I'm looking at 2 of them right now with the 41 of Wyckoff and the 12 of Ferris. Both those drivers driving what equates to being a pavement modified. Absolutely no front or rear on Ferris's 12. No front end to speak of on the 41 of Wyckoff. So, interesting deal there. Let's take a quick look through our field. The biggest mover is going to be this man out of Shelton, Washington. That is Isaac Wilson in the Stewart Haas Racing number 14. And this might be one of the last years we get to see Stewart Haas Racing driving the Ford Mustang, as the rumor mill is blowing up right now with Tony Stewart possibly bringing Dodge back into the fold.
Well, that'll be really interesting to see. Rumors definitely coming out there and seeing what happens for the future.
Well, I mean, if anybody's going to do it, it would be him, considering that, if you take a look at his NHRA team, one of the cars driven by his wife, Leah Pruitt,
Green flag.
They're sponsored by Dodge. So if anybody can do it, it would be Tony. As we are back underway, Jalen Battle showing the way. Charles Robertson right there on his back bumper. And fresh tires already starting to play dividends, as Chris Warrell did not take tires the last time these guys were down pit road on lap 37. However, Battle, Robertson, and Carnes all did. As did Solo, Mulvey, and Duff.
Tires at this track is is really important. I mean, even I'd say 5 to 10 laps is a big difference in these tires, as we see Robertson trying to make a pass on Battle.
Battle's being hot and heavy right now.
All these guys are extremely fast. I've had the honor of racing with a lot of these guys, and man, they push these cars to the limit every single turn, every single lap, and it creates for some really exciting racing.
Well, you've been in the situation that Robertson's in right now, slugging it out with Jalen Battle the entirety of last season, as you two were just trading haymakers for the championship.
Yeah, Jalen's a very... The way I describe Jalen is he's a very aggressive driver, but very consistent and very respectful driver. He'll push that car to its very limits. He'll block you. He'll put the car right on your door, but he won't ever, or at least with me, he's never wrecked me. We were able to get as close as we can, and it's just, he's a really good driver, just like the 47 right behind him of Skylar Carnes.
They'll race you tough, but they won't race you dirty.
Exactly.
And that's what we love to see is Robertson having a little bit of trouble coming through 4. As right now, Cootie and Warrell going after each other again. As that's basically the way they started the race. Cootie is making his Cup Series debut. And it looks like Mulvey going to follow Warrell through as he's a little twitchy coming off of 2.
I've seen Andrew Crudy in one, I believe it's in 1 and 2, where he kind of takes that really high line. It's an interesting line. I know a lot of people in, whether it was officials back when the Gen 6 were still in the officials, would typically run about a lane higher from the bottom or right on the bottom. It's an interesting line. I wonder how the tires are being affected by running that high line.
That's the Whelen modified line that I was taught to run here. You know, back when I was still active as a driver. And
Yellow.
oh boy, John Hopley, what did you do? Let's find out. There's Hopley in the Castrol 6. And did he have help?
Ooh.
Good possibility.
Got tight, hit the wall coming out of 4, and got into a 22.
Oh, that is not what the points leader, Linus Broström, needed. Ouch.
And you said it, that these walls come out you and just grab you.
Yeah, they do.
In a hurry.
Let's follow along with Broström here. And as you can see, Hopley in front of Broström as the 45 of Clarence Prince working the inside of Broström.
Man, that 22, that was a hard hit.
Oy, the 16 absolutely nowhere to go. Brian Treadwell catches a race car to the teeth, as does the 33 of Tommy Stanley. Ford Mustang looking like a pug dog right now.
I think that's another difficulty of this track is when there is a wreck, it's such a small track, and sometimes it just becomes a parking garage of a wreck, depending on where it happens.
Yeah, absolutely, and you know it's just one of them racing deals, and you've got to be mindful of it when you go around this track, because Richmond can be a self-cleaning track depending on where you crash. Other parts, not so much. You know, the flatter 1 and 2, you're guessing as to where that car is going to end up. It could end up in the infield. It could end up in your ear. One of the two is going to happen. But, you know, not the tightest track we're going to visit. As, let me just bring up my cheat sheet here. There it is. As next week, we will be at a tighter track as we go to the Miracle Mile up in Loudon, New Hampshire, to do 150 laps up there. That's going to be a fun one.
Oh,
Can I call in sick?
I don't think I've ever in this league. I don't think I've ever raced New Hampshire. I think that's one race I've consistently missed.
Yeah, you used that as a drop week last year.
Yeah, and I honestly, man, just hearing the name, I already know what it's gonna be. It's a tough track. It's fun, but it's tough.
It's a different line than a lot of guys would normally take. And the hardest part, Loudon and Milwaukee have a very similar line. It's a late apex into 1 and 3. And it takes a lot of getting used to, especially with guys and gals that are used to running it, and I'm using air quotes here, traditional oval line. You expect to be able to arc it into the corner. Well, if you try to arc it into the corner, somebody's going to arc or break you and most likely put you into the wall. So you really have to be mindful, especially in traffic, of the line that you're taking going into the corner. But that second lane is really where you want to be early on, and then work your way out towards the wall in the later running as the tires start to wear off.
Yep, very true. Because I want to say it's similar to the Xfinity cars. The Xfinity cars, I've raced there once, and you run that second line, drift up into the third just a bit, and then you cut it back down, kind of diamonding the corner, and it handles really good.
Green flag.
Like you said, it's a different line as these guys are going back green.
That's exactly what you want to have happen. As Jalen Battle on the high side, Skylar Carnes on the low side, as they are too wide, about 4 deep right now. And they finally get single filed out after Solo and Robertson. As Cody up there as well into the number 5 slot, as he has given big pressure to the deuce right now. Carnes shows the way as Battle going to slot into second. But the battle is for 4th. Robertson in the 2. Cody in the 10. Here comes Travis Browder in the 18 as well, as he's trying to make some headway.
Now, Travis is one driver that I've known that I believe he hasn't been in races due to some technical issues.
Oh, no.
Correct.
And we are back under caution. And it looks like something happened with the 9 of Jason Ricketts.
Ooh.
Let's find out. And once again, the 1 runs somebody over from behind.
Yep, and drivers are not happy. I believe there was a case of arc break.
Yeah, Hopley just ZFG and just runs flat into the 14 of Isaac Wilson. But, that is at least the second time that I've seen Casey Tomlinson just flat run somebody over from behind. Pushing up, pushing too hard, and getting into someone's quarter panel.
What I'm seeing him do, and I want to say it's what's causing it, is he's kind of entering a little too short, and it's not giving him a chance to really arc the corner. It's just causing him to drift up and get into the driver. If you were to just be up a little higher and a little closer to the driver above, I feel like he would be able to make the corner and carry the momentum he has. But it's all about that entry. If you don't nail that entry, we're seeing it happen where you just take out the driver on top of you.
Yeah, absolutely. We do see some takers going down pit road here. J.D. Vanner, Eugene Thorne, Isaac Wilson, all coming down to get some damage fixed. Isaac Wilson, that car got shortened up by about 3 feet. As Treadwell and Weimer both bring him pit side. Biggest mover of the race right now is this man in the 45, Newark, New Jersey's own Clarence Prince. And up 17 from where he started, currently inside the top 10. Didn't have the strongest qualifying attempt, but definitely making up for it in the race. And that's something, we see a lot of out of Clarence. He's not a one-lap wonder, and when it comes time to go in the race, he knows how to save his equipment to be around at the end.
For sure, and with such a race like this where it's 200 laps, I mean, that's really what you want to be. You want to be competitive throughout the race and kind of be there to set yourself up for a chance, whether it's a top 5, top 3, or even a win there at the end. And with the cautions that we're having, the biggest thing I feel like is happening is I feel like Richmond is a rhythm track. You got to get it laps in, get your braking points down, and when a caution happens, I've known because it happened to me last season, where green flag happens and I just missed my braking point and it caused me to wreck. So I feel like it's just one of those things that's happening here, out of rhythm, and it's just causing a few pileups.
Yeah, absolutely. And lights should be going out on the pace car this time by Carnes, Battle, Solo, Robertson, Cody, Browder, Mulvey, Iskandar, Prince, and Warrell round out your top 10. As there goes the 14, just barely able to stay on the lead lap. As Isaac Wilson was trying to pit farm the daylights out of that Stuart Haas Racing Ford Mustang. As we are going to go single file, it looks like. Nope, we are going double file. Skylar Carnes going to have the button as the field works its way into the 3-4 complex. Carnes in Battle looking to pick up where they left off as the pace car peels off below the mustard line into the Geico restart zone. Carnes gets ready to drop the hammer. Green flag is out, and we are back underway. Carnes in Battle still side by side as Cootie looking to make it 3 wide, thinks better of it though. Hey, hang on to her, son. He was all sorts of sideways coming off of turn 2, hemorrhaging spots. As
Yellow.
And there it is. What happened to Tommy Stanley? Tommy Stanley was in the 3 wide situation. That's what happened.
Seemed like the one got into the wall, and like it's a 3 wide situation, and
boom goes the dynamite.
I was gonna say the 10 after getting loose, he came down pit road.
Yes, he did. Jeff Weimer catching a piece of that one, catching a heavy piece of that one. Keep your eye on the 15 here.
All these guys really need is just, and girls, all they really need is just a few laps to spread out these cars, get into rhythm, and we'll have a really good long run.
Yeah, but unfortunately, we're in that situation of cautions breeding cautions.
If I'm not mistaken, this caution happened before they complete a lap, so we might get a single file restart. I could be mistaken, but I believe so.
I don't believe you're mistaken. I don't think the leader had gotten back around. There goes the 23 of Eugene Thorne to get back on the lead lap. But 4 retirements to speak of so far. Johnny Castle electing not to start. Zach Taylor, Justin Barkley, Chase Harden, all deciding to start and park here tonight at Richmond. Linus Brostrom has been on pit road for the last 10.5 minutes trying to get that engine swapped out. As there he is driving what essentially is a pavement modified at this point, missing the complete front clip of that car.
With the way these racing has been going, having a clean car is going to set you up really nicely. Give you a really good shot to get, I'd say, top 15 to top 10 with the way that the wrecks and everything occurred. Because I believe there's only, if my SDK is correct, 17 drivers on the lead lap now that Eugene Jordan got the lucky dog.
Correct. You are absolutely correct, sir. And those lead lap drivers are Skylar Carnes, Jalen Battle, Charles Robertson, Dan Solo, Travis Browder, Chris Warrell, Clarence Prince, Brian Chu, Adam Duff, Steven Sear rounding out your top 10. Then we've got Robert Rowe, JB Banner, Jason Ricketts, Isaac Wilson, Damian Mulvey, Mike Iskandar, and Eugene Thorne. Those are your 17 being scored on the lead lap. And then we've got Casey Tomlinson in the one lap down. Marcus Hagman is 2 laps down in 19th. Brian Treadwell rounding out your top 20, currently 3 laps down. And it looks like Andrew Cootie has decided to park it.
Ooh.
So your outside pole sitter electing to call it a night here at Richmond. We are working lap 84 as the lights are out on the Ford Mustang GT 500 pace car, the official pace car of iRacing. Skylar Carnes going to have the button one more time as the field works its way into the 3-4 complex. Pace car gets ready to make that hard left turn. There it goes, and here we go. Working lap, getting ready to put lap 84 in the books. Green flag is out. Carnes drops the hammer as we are on board with him right now. He's going to slot in right in front of Jalen Battle there.
The two of Robertson and the 00 Daniel are side by side. Ooh, is the 20 going to try and make a 3 wide?
Yes, he is. Warrell came pit side on lap 65 to get the fresh shoes. Thought better of it. Now, Francisco, let me ask you this. Most terrifying word you can hear your spotters say, especially at a place like Richmond: 3 wide, you're the meat.
Oh yes, that you hear that as a driver, and you're just holding your wheel as steady as you can be. If you have 3 monitors, I'm looking at both of them, seeing who's on my outside, who's on my inside. If you have a single monitor, it's just like, I hope
it's a pucker
I'm in the
moment.
right spot. It's terrifying.
As Warrell makes quick work of Solo. As, again, about 30 lap fresher tires for the 20 than those cars around him. As Browder had a little bit of a moment there.
Speaking of Browder, I was mentioning before the caution came out, like, he hasn't been running in this league due to computer issues and stuff like that. And he's back. He's one of the guys that you'll see him consistently run top 5 for majority of the race, but he's always there for the win towards the end of the race.
Yes, he is. And another guy who, you haven't had a chance to run against him too often, being as you've been subbing in and out this season. But Chris Warrell, always a strong contender whenever he shows up.
Yes, he is. I actually had the privilege of battling him last week at National Super Speedway. And, we were teammates, so it actually helped. And we were trying to help each other a little bit. But Yeah, he's extremely fast, especially with these fresh tires. You're gonna see him fly.
Absolutely. Suffolk, Virginia native, so relatively hometown hero tonight is the 20 of Warrell. And we are back under caution, and I don't have it.
Ooh, I believe it was a miss. Based on the radio, I believe it was a misclick that caused the caution.
A misclick?
I believe maybe a button that was routed is what I'm hearing.
Okay.
Interesting.
All right. Well, that would explain why I don't have it on my SDK.
Same here. It just showed yellow flag, and I'm like, all right, let me see who's the driver, and never showed up. Ooh, what happened to Ricky Hudges?
Well, let's go take a look at what did happen to the 52 here. As we are already under caution when this took place. There's Mike Iskandar right in front of him.
He just parked it and jumped to pits. Now let me go back to see if maybe he blew a motor, but I don't think so. No signs.
No, that car is still running.
So he's jumped to pits and I believe decided to park it. As you see our leader, Skylar Collins, Jalen Battle, and Daniel Solo, Charles Robertson, and all of them coming down to pit. Now they'll have the fresh tires. It'll be interesting to see how hard they push it through this field.
Well, you gotta go. When it's time to go, you've got to go. But if you take a look at who's at the front of this piece right now, Warrell, Browder, Chu, and Sear, all the Joe Gibbs racing cars at the front of this piece right now. The first non-JGR car is going to be the Irishman Damian Mulvey in the 51, currently sitting in the top or in the 5th position.
I believe last week as well, Joe Gibbs Racing had a solid outing at Nashville Super Speedway. Good to see that another week of them doing solid performance. The guys with the newer tires, though, I believe are going to be able to get through this field a little bit easier, for the reason being that when they stayed out and Chris Rowe and them had the newer tires, it was mostly caution laps on their tires. In this case, they actually had a little bit of green flag laps, so the wear is going to be just slightly more. So it should make it a little bit easier to get around them.
Which right now, the freshest set of shoes on the track in the top 10 belong to that man in the 47. Bristol, Tennessee's own Skylar Carnes, as nobody really sure where they're going in front of them right now, as we are still under caution. There's a little bit of miscommunication as to who's going where and why.
Now, we were talking about how next week they go to New Hampshire. One important thing I realize is this regular season's coming to an end, and I'm pretty sure some of these drivers are trying to push to get as many points as they can to try and get into the playoffs, as I believe it's the top 12 or the top 16 that get in.
I believe it's 12. And you're right, because we've got tonight at Richmond, next week at New Hampshire, and then Memorial Day weekend, we're at Pocono.
Ooh, Pocono's going to be an interesting race.
70 laps at the Tricky Triangle. So, going to be a fun one to get this figured out. As the pace car is back off, Warrell has the button.
Green flag, green flag.
As Travis Browder spins the tires, that's going to let Chu get to his inside. And here comes Mulvey as well, working the inside of Sear. bit further back. Fresh tires on fresh tires battle as Solo and Banner going after each other right now.
Skylar Carnes is already up to 6. He's wasting no time. He's picking them off one by one, hitting his marks. He's going to push it, but make sure not to get involved in any of these guys with older tires.
Well, he's not going to be able to make much headway right now as Moby and Sear run side by side in front of him. Oh, don't do it.
You saw exactly what I saw.
He was looking to go 3 wide. We're like, no, please don't.
If there's one person I trust to make moves like that, it'd be Skylar. But man, that was going to be a tight fit. Luckily, he was able to get around Moby, and now he's working on Sear. He's making quick work of these fellas.
Yes, he is. Oi! Travis Crowder, 8 different kinds of sideways coming off of turn 2. As Crowder now going to stack up the 19 behind him as Solo works to his inside. As Carnes works the inside of Chu. And now sets sight on trying to reel in Chris Warrell, who's another second up the road. But this is what 30-lap newer tires can do for you as Solo flashes by Chu going into 1. Sear continues to backslide as that's Jalen Battle and Charles Robertson working the inside of him. Again, fresh tires for both of those drivers.
Charles Roberson's actually a really good driver that I had. When I first joined iSNF, he was one of the big competitors in this league that he was always winning these races. And when I first had the chance, I mean, he's a monster on any of these tracks. He always shows speed, consistency, and always sets himself very nicely.
17 wins, 3 championships across the different series here in the iSNF. And his battle working the inside of Chu, going through 3 and 4. And he's going to bring Robertson with him. As Warrell under heavy pressure now from Skylar Carnes going into turn number 3. Warrell going to defend the inside lane. Carnes able to arc the corner a little bit better, gets a better drive off of 4. And just like that, Skylar Carnes working his way back towards the front, sends it going into 1. Warrell going to battle back though on the top side, a little bit of a wiggle out of the 20. Carnes though on the inside, going to have the short way around. He's going to throw the slide job coming off of 4. Warrell with the older tires not able to defend hardly at all right there. Tries to send it going into 1, thinks better of it. He's going to have to get it sorted out pretty quick as he's got Solo starting to breathe down his neck as we've got a 3-car breakaway at the front of this piece. Carnes, Warrell, and Solo, and then you're a second and a half back to Jalen Battle in 4th.
Now, considering the fact that Chris Warrell is on older tires, he's actually holding up really well, and it seems like this strategy is actually a good one for him, as even if he's sitting, I'd say, if he's able to maintain a top 5, I mean, I consider that a win with older tires, as it sets you up, and depending on how long he runs these tires, you know, fresh tires, ooh, they just came up on a lap car, and I believe that's the 12 of Rhea Ferris.
Yes, it was. And at the same time, Solo was having a little bit of connection issues as all 3 members of the Swedish contingent here tonight have had connection issues at some point. Hagman and Brostrom had it early and went laps down, but now, there you go. Solo is by Warrell, and Warrell doing everything he can to try to stay with the fresher shoes in front of him. As Jalen Battle is still bringing Robertson with him. Little bit of pocket starting to form up here as there is Eugene Thorne in the 23. back on the lead lap for how long, as that's JB Banner in front of him and Isaac Wilson behind him.
You know, I mentioned earlier how if we were to just get a few laps in, people are going to be able to get the rhythm. And I think we're finally seeing that here where people are finding the rhythm. We're able to spread the gap amongst drivers and get to some good, clean racing and be able to just run down these laps. So I know in iSNF when I ran here, it was typically that way. We get a few cautions at the beginning, a really long run in the middle, and then towards the end of the race, you know, everybody starting to go for positions, so maybe a caution here, a caution there. So hopefully this is going to be a nice, long green flag run.
We can only hope, but I believe you may have just jinxed the field, my friend. So get your hate mail coming down, folks, at Francisco Villarreal here of ESBN Towers, Dallas, Texas, P.O. Box OU812.
I shall take that as the broadcaster curse.
Yes, sir. But again, I want to thank everybody for joining us in the live chat, except for you, and you. I don't like you.
Now, Skylar Carnes has really opened up a nice little lead over second place in that 00 Daniel Solo. Almost a 2-second lead. I believe it's 1.8 seconds. He is really hitting his marks, getting a smooth transition off the corners, and able to really drive this car really solid.
And that's the key here. You really have to be smooth, because if you're not smooth, then you know all you're going to do is just chew up that right front tire, especially through 1 and 2.
Yellow flag is out.
And what just happened? Isaac Wilson. Keep your eye on the 14 here, as that car already looks like a mess, and it looks like just that's what you call a physics lesson, boys and girls. Two solid objects cannot occupy the same moment of the space-time continuum. Just pushed off of 2, and unfortunately the 23 was there. So Wilson gets a little bit spun. And we are back under caution. We're going to take this moment to step away, pay some bills, and we will be back after this.
Drivers that took time, all of them within 3.5 tenths of each other tonight is going to be a very closely competitive race.
As the field worked its way out of the 3-4 complex, the only thing that's left to say is wipe the visor, adjust the 5-point safety harness, because race fans, it's showtime!
Amazing looking cars already. Green flag will fly.
We'll Well, one thing that you're going to see at this track that we haven't seen the last few weeks is a surface that's multi-group. I think this is the first multi-group surface we're going to have.
After an amazing race at Daytona, we now come to the left coast and Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California for the second round of the Way She Goes Racing League Cup Series. And we are back at Richmond for the Virginia is for Lovers 200, round 18 of the iSNF Cup Series. The two of Charles Robertson gonna have the button when we do go back to green flag action as the lights go out on the pace car. John Hopley stays out to try to get one of his laps back. Skylar Carnes and company all came down to get some fresh shoes on lap 119. Robertson, Mulvey, and Duff all electing to stay out. And I gotta think those three drivers are sitting ducks when we do go back to green flag action. Tony Trapasso and Francisco Villarreal up in the booth with you tonight. And Francisco, not where you normally are for one of these races, but what are your thoughts so far being up here in the booth?
I mean, I actually love being up in the booth. I've done it a few times in, from time to time. So
Green.
it's awesome. It's exciting. It's a different point of view from these racing as these fellas go driving. Once again, taking the green flag.
Absolutely. As Carnes trying to make some headway on the top side right now. Robertson going to pinch him up towards the wall, coming down the back chute. And just like that, Carnes back to the point. And Solo going to pick him up as well as here comes Warrell. Robertson's a sitting duck right now as he's got to make something happen quickly and try to stop the hemorrhaging. As he is, one lap ago he was leading. Now he's in fourth.
Yeah, with the amount of laps that they ran on those set of tires, I mean, we saw how big of a difference very few green flag laps were. They win, I believe, 16 laps under green, 17 maybe. So,
and that's
definitely
enough to punish. That's enough to punish that right front enough. As Battle and Browder both worked their way around Damian Mulvey. And here comes Steven Sear in the 19 as well. As Solo getting pressure from Warrell right now as they go through 3 and 4. That's Warrell on the low side, Solo on the top side. Almost contact coming off of 4. A little bit sketchy moment for both of them. As that is the 45 of Clarence Prince coming off the pit road there. Spending an extended time trying to get that car fixed. Another coat of paint. Those guys would have been in trouble for second. As Warrell did put the squeeze on Solo. Solo now on the inside. Warrell on the top side. And we've seen Warrell able to defend more effectively on the top side than anyone else here tonight so far.
Oh, for sure. Now that him and Skylar Carnes have fresh tires, it'll be interesting to see how this battle plays out, how hard they push one another, and to see if one of them tries to burn the other's right front.
As we do have a 3-car breakaway starting to really heat up here. That's Carnes, Warrell, and Solo. And then you're almost 2 full seconds back to this little battle with Jalen Battle and Travis Browder as they are working the inside of Prince. Going into one, Prince going to give plenty of room and let those lead-lap cars go. Brian Chu and J.D. Banner going after it right now. That is your battle for 8. Chu has it. Now starts to reel in Robertson. Robertson right now has got to be praying for a caution. As everybody else in the top 10 came down for tires. He's the only one actually in the top 11 who did not pit for tires that last time by.
I feel like that's what his thought process was, is the fact that with the way the cautions have been going, I think he figured that there would have been another one within, I'd say, 5 to 10 laps, and
3 laps ago.
You know, be able to come down and pit and get fresher tires than everybody else, and everybody else forcing them to stay out to maybe save a set for the end or the last pit stop type situation, and he'd be able to drive around them. But as you can see, it's going green, and he's just falling back.
Well, the good news is he should have an extra set on the wall, being as he's only been down pit road twice so far, whereas everybody else has come down 3 times to get tires. As we are watching the battle between now Iskandar and Robertson, and here comes the 14, Isaac Wilson, driving basically a pavement modified, but that's what fresh tires can do for you. Screw the aero, give me tires.
No kidding. I mean, he was able to complete that pass. Actually, I expected that. It seems like he had an issue and fell back quite a bit.
Yeah, Wilson had a big moment coming through 4 that time, as he is now caught down on that low lane, and hey,
right there he did exactly what the one did in his 2 wrecks, where you enter so low that your car has nowhere to go but up.
Luckily he stayed off of Duff, and now Duff and Ricketts going side by side. Toronto, Canada, and Dawsonville, Georgia going hammer and tongs at it right now. Actually more like pitchforks and axe handles between those two. As Ricketts in the Hooters car, able to wrestle the spot away from the 3 of Duff, so Ricketts up to 12. And then there's Damian Mulvey right in front of him, having to deal with the lap car of Marcus Hagman. And that's not something we say too often. The lap car of Marcus Hagman.
Actually, that's very true, because last season and this season as well, I mean, he's very consistent. Typically, the only time he is a lap down is he gets involved in a wreck. It's very rare that you see him.
Or tonight's connection issues.
Yes, it's very rare that you ever see him a lap down.
Mike Iskandar under heavy pressure right now from Charles Robertson. As Robertson having to deal with the lap car, the 33. That is Tommy Stanley. Iskandar, though, lets Robertson go. And now falls back into the clutches of the 16. And there's another lap car, Brian Treadwell, as he's now working around another lap car, John Hopley. Mike Iskandar cannot get away from lap cars right now.
Now, I will say this. You talked about Marcus Hagman and his connection issues. He is currently 2 laps down, I believe. He is the first car. I want to say he's the only car.
2 laps down.
Yes, so if a caution were to come out again, he would be the one to get the lucky dog, if I'm not mistaken, if
Correct.
it were to come out now.
As long as he's not involved in said incident.
Yes. So he might still have a shot at getting on the lead lap before the race is over.
Well, we are about to find out as we're working lap 144 of 200 here. The Virginia is for Lovers 250 from Richmond, round 18 of the iSNF Sunday Night Cup Series. Want to thank everybody for joining us in the live chat. If you haven't done so already, give this video a thumbs up. Let us know you like what you're seeing. And if you want to get involved, the iSNF is currently looking for series sponsors. You can contact Ms. Rhea Ferris through Facebook and through the Discord servers. We can get you that information if you are interested. Lots of packages available to fit your budget, as every little bit can help here. As we're watching Jason Ricketts now work on Damian Mulvey. Mulvey working on Iskandar. And that is your battle for the last spot in the top 10. Mulvey, Iskandar, and Ricketts all stem to stern right now as Mulvey gets hemmed up behind the 16 at Treadwell.
Ooh. That 43, once again, we've seen it from a few drivers. They sent it in low and drifted up, and luckily that 51 was just enough far ahead to where he wasn't going to get clipped, because that was a close call.
Yes, it was, and here comes the 3 of Adam Duff on Iskandar now. As Mulvey working on the 16 at Treadwell. Mulvey going to get by Treadwell and going to bring the 9 of Ricketts with him. And you got to wonder what type of race we'd be seeing out of Treadwell had he not been involved in those 2 earlier incidences.
I still find it very interesting. Some of these drivers that are running this, you know, that middle to high line. I know, me personally, I don't know if it's just the way that I drive this track. I can't figure out those middle to high lines. I try and drive it and I end up straight in the wall. I can't complete one lap.
You need to spend more time at Irwindale, my friend. That'll really help your high lane racing, because that is the line around Irwindale's half mile. Right up there near the wall, almost like a Darlington stripe. You know, they call it the Irwindale Hickey. Is 16 getting into the wall, coming off a 4, giving plenty of room. As here comes the 3 of Duff.
Oh, he's right in front of him.
Another coat of paint, those guys would have been in trouble. And they better get this sorted out quickly, because that is your race leader, Skylar Carnes, right behind them.
Skylar Carnes is, man, I've raced
on
him
another planet right now.
I've raced him way too many times, and every time he, as a driver, just seems. It always seems like you try and catch up with him, and then he just as a 3 cuts him off. Just, man.
I'm all for fighting to stay on the lead lap, but you don't do that in front of the leader.
At some point, you just gotta, you know, race etiquette, move out the way, let the leader by.
And you know, right now, Jason Ricketts had a big moment coming off of 2, had to chase it down the track.
Ooh, was Mulvey trying to come down pit road, or did he get loose?
Well, let's find out, as we are going to go back as soon as I can find him. So let's go back a lap on Mulvey here. We're going to follow him along here. It looks like he may have been trying to come down pit road. And
sure
yeah,
enough.
He's coming down this time, so yeah.
Man,
That's what happened to Ricketts. Ricketts almost ran him over as Mulvey was trying to slow down to get to pit road. Overcooked it and almost ate the water barrels.
Oh, man. That's going to cost Mulvey a lot of time.
Yes, it is. As right now, your first car 1 or more laps down is Jason Ricketts in the 9. Currently being scored in the number 10 spot. So that leaves us with 9 cars on the lead lap. Charles Robertson in the deuce, the last car being scored as such, as he is dealing with the 2 lap cars. That is the 45 of Clarence Prince and the 33 of Tommy Stanley, as he shoots the gap up the middle between the 2 of them. Marcus Hagman looking to go with him. But the door gets slammed in Hagman's face.
Now, I was keeping out because I had seen a car on the inside of the track, and I had heard, like, if the left were on the grass, and it was the 34 of Johnny Castle. He was actually able, what I've heard is he's been having issues connecting all race long. He was finally able to connect, and he is back in pit road.
Yeah, not sure what that was all about, as you saw him go through the grass there. And he's just staying down on the apron. But you got to love his tenacity. As many laps down as he is, still out there trying to turn some laps.
Oh, for sure. And I mean, I don't know if he is in this predicament, but for the drivers that are battling for actual points, in general, and for the driver rating, because I know iSNF does incorporate a driver rating based on your laps led and, you know, your position where you finish and all that sorts of stuff. You know, you want to keep going to avoid getting a DQ from not finishing the race. But also, points really matter. I know, perfect example of that is last season's championship race. Me and Jalen battled. The only thing that separated us was 1 lap led, and that was bonus points. So it's always important to keep points in mind.
And who won that battle?
Luckily, I did.
Exactly. So take it from a man that knows what he's talking about, folks. Skylar Carnes continues. Yikes! I think I just had a Code Brown moment up here in the booth.
I think we both did. Oh, man.
Oy vey.
That was... I mean, I even think of...
Another coat of paint that Skylar Carnes and Clarence Prince would have been in deep trouble. As we currently have 9 cars on the lead lap. Skylar Carnes, Chris Warrell, Jalen Battle, Dan Solo, Travis Browder, Steven Sear, Brian Chu, JB Banner, and Charles Robertson rounding out your lead lap cars. As that's Robertson getting sideways, coming off a 4 in front of your leader, Skylar Carnes.
Now, I don't know if it's these tires really taking effect now, because
It's gotta be.
He did that on the backstretch also. I noticed it, and originally I thought Tommy Stanley had gotten into him, you know, made a little bit of contact, shook him up, but it seems like it's just him pushing the car and those tires not gripping right because of obviously tire wear, and he's starting to battle this car a lot.
Well, the last time he was down pit road was lap 93. As we are 45 to go at the stripe, you got to wonder how much longer are these guys going to stay out, and who's going to be the first one to flinch here to come down pit road up the lead lap cars. As right now, JB Banner in the 48, there you see him right in front of your leader, Skylar Carnes. Carnes is just on another planet right now. A 2.5 lead over Chris Warrell.
The 2 is really struggling. He just had 2 more saves. He is extremely loose.
He needs tires badly. Very
I will
badly.
say this, though.
Warrell's
I
coming
believe
in.
the 20. I was about to say, the moment one of these lead lap cars come in, as the 24 of Jalen Battle also dives down pit road, the moment one of them comes down, I believe the rest of them are going to start, just because if you come down a lap earlier than the person in front of you, you're able to make up some time. Obviously, your tires are going to wear a little bit sooner, and that affects, but depending on how many laps are remaining, it might be the best move to come in a lap before
Carnes
the person
stays out. And Robertson peels off to come in. But Carnes, Solo, Browder, Sear, and Chu all stay out. .72 to go here, or sorry, 32 to go here. As finally, Carnes gonna bring it pit side. There's Solo. Looks like he's gonna stay out and get credited with leading a lap. As your effective race lead is going to be that man in the 20, Chris Warrell. As everybody in front of him has yet to come down pit side for their money stop. It's been a pretty tumultuous race, though, for the 00 of Solo so far. He's had light contact with a couple of cars. as he's now working the backside of Jason Ricketts. Your biggest mover so far is Steer peels off to go pit side. But your biggest mover so far is the man driving the Ally number 48 for Hendrick Motorsports, Bristol, Tennessee's own JB Banner. Up 24 spots from where he started as both Steer and Chew peel off to bring him pit side.
You know, I mentioned the whole pitting earlier by a lap and whatnot. Skylar Carnes just set the fastest lap with a 21:58.
Good grief.
You know, that one lap difference just shows the effect. The 20 was able to get in front of Skylar Carnes, but Skylar has, I believe it was 2 laps fresher tires.
Skylar just went around.
Oh boy. Luckily he kept it off anything, I believe, so he should be good.
Yeah, but we stay green as this is what happened to Carnes coming off of 4. Just tried to lay the power down too aggressively. Could see Warrell in front of him. Takes it through the grass. He desperately needs a caution now as he has dropped all the way to 6th.
Yeah, he should be, I want to say he should be in the top 5 once Daniel in the 00 pits, because he has yet to make his pit stop. But what I was trying to say is Chris Warrell was able to get in front of Skylar after pit stops, but Skylar was running him down until he had that incident. So it just shows how pit strategy really matters. 1 or 2 laps can make a huge difference.
And right now, I would not want to be Warrell in the 20, as that is an angry pack of hornets in front of him. All lap cars. All except for JB Banner in the 48, as Warrell is about to take over second on track. Just like that he does, as he's following Clarence Prince right now. Wanting to get Prince up and out of his way so he can reel in Solo, as Prince going to take the low line. Good Warrell the high side. Prince has to check up hard to stay off of Warrell that time. And you got to wonder, how much longer can Solo stay out?
Now, actually, that's a very good question, because we've already seen majority of the field make their pit stops. And at this point, what you're seeing is he's basically just losing ground. With all of them having fresher tires, yes, he'll come in a pit stop, get fresh tires, but I don't think he'll have enough time
Exactly.
to run them down.
He's running out of time to use those fresh tires effectively, because Warrell, Battle, and Carnes are all on kill right now.
Now, what's interesting is how are Skylar Carnes' tires after that's been, because it definitely, losing control of a car like that will definitely affect the tires. He's getting, I'd say 1 or 2% on tire wear, so it'll be interesting to see if he's able to run down Jalen Battle, who about a second in front of him.
Well, Battle's got to deal with the lap cars that Chris Warrell just had to deal with a couple of laps prior, as that's Marcus Hagman on the top side, Clarence Prince in front of him. There's JB Banner getting hemmed up behind the 37. I don't even have a 37 listed. There he is, Robert Rowe. So Battle made quick work of them. And now here comes Carnes to the outside of Battle, outside of JB Banner. And that is the 2 of Charles Robertson right in front of him, as Robertson has already done his money stop. And Carnes is just on kill right now, as only 3 cars have gone sub 23 seconds the last time by. Warrell, Battle, and Carnes being those 3. Almost a second difference to Dan Solo, as we're looking about 2 seconds worth of fall off. And for 17 laps to go, Solo might be trying to stretch this the entire way. Because he's out of time to put fresh shoes on right now. He's going to go a lap down if he tries it. And, well, there's your answer. Oh!
Oh my gosh. And it was Johnny Castle. I was watching it because I heard on the radio. He was so off pace, I'm not quite sure what happened. What? He was just...
Well, there's Castle on the top side. Iskandar working to his ends. Iskandar just went up into him. And then Rhea Ferris catches a race car to the face. Skylar Carnes catches a piece of it too. As did Clarence Prince, Brian Chu. Let's see what happens with Chu here.
I don't think the 43, I don't think he because the 34 was really off pace. I don't think he expected himself to catch the 34 as fast as he did in that corner. Now this is going to change up this entire...
Yeah, it is. Because I can guarantee you everybody's going to come down pit side. And just as I say that, looks like Warrell and Banner both came down. Battle stays out. Karn stays out. Solo comes down. Ricketts now comes down.
Now the man that benefit from that would be Daniel.
That's a free pit stop for the 00. So Battle stays out. Last down on lap 167. Karn stays out. Last down on 169. Solo comes down for 4 in fuel. Warrell comes down for 4 in fuel. JB Banner and Jason Ricketts all came down for 4 in fuel. Travis Browder stays out. Steven Sears stays out. And Charles Robertson stayed out.
I don't know how I feel about the call staying out. And the only reason I say that is there were so little cars on the lead lap.
Well,
that it's a tough call.
Yeah, but here's the thing. They only had 5 total sets of tires. And Battle and Carnes may have already burned through all 5 sets. Because they both have been... neither one of them took a fuel-only stop. And they've already been down pit road 4 times. So, with them laying 4 sets, they might be out of sets. Which now Warrell is, because he came down 1 time for fuel-only. As the lights go out on the pace car this time, I believe. Yes, they are.
This is going to be a very...
10-lap shootout for all the marbles. Here we go. Battle and Carnes on the old tires. Solo, Warrell, Banner, Ricketts, Browder, and Sear all on the newer tires. Grab that 5-point harness and pull her tight, son, because it's about to get fun at Richmond. Carnes has the button on the low side as the field works its way out of turn number 4 and into the Geico restart zone.
Green flag, green flag.
Carnes jumps on the trigger. Battle, though, is going to beat him to line. Carnes spins the tires, and we are back under caution. Keep your eye on the 47 as he just spun the daylights out of the tires, and he collected JB Banner with him in most of the field.
I'm gonna say that 47 spun his tires, got loose. I think he would have been able to save it, but obviously the 00 with fresh tires gonna try and make a move. And since he was down there, and when Carnes got loose, that little contact was just icing on the cake, and there was no hope of saving it.
Well, this is what our good friends up in the blimp saw when this happened. As Carnes tries to roll into it, gets a little too aggressive, spins the tires, goes down into the 00, up into the 48, and watch the stack up behind him as Chu spins it out. 37, the 9, the 3, the 14, the 18, and the 33 all catching a piece of it, trying to stay out of it. But we are going to rack them, stack them, and try it again, and we should get a natural green-white checker. And I got to say that advantage right now is going to be with the 20 of Chris Warrell, because Dan Solo is going to be, actually no, the advantage is going to go to Jalen Battle, because we're going to go single file.
Very true. Going back to that wreck, the last time I had seen a wreck like that from, front row, it was actually my fault. It was at Darlington.
I was going to say, weren't you the one that did it?
Yep. It was the very start of the race, spun the tires, and it became a parking lot at the very start, so yeah, I know the feeling.
Yeah, of the 37 cars that started, 27 of them had to tow.
Not my proudest moment.
Obviously not.
But, this is going to be interesting because Daniel, I don't know how much damage he has. He should be good, obviously, for the rest of the race. But what it's really going to come down to is how aggressive the 20 of Chris Warrell is. We saw what the 00 did. Try to take it 3 wide on the inside. Well, it's going to be a single file restart, so that's going to change it up.
Right.
But it's really going to come down to how hard these drivers push, and knowing Jalen, he's going to protect the inside line. He's going to protect the preferred line in general. So, it's going to be real interesting.
Well, place your bets, folks, as we are currently 6 to go. We're going to be restarting. I don't know if we're going to get a natural green-white checker or not. We might have one extra lap thrown in there for good measure. But let's find out. And like you mentioned earlier, Jalen's one of those guys that he'll run you hard, but he'll run you clean. He'll make you work for it to get by him, but he's not going to use you up in the meantime.
No, but he'll definitely protect. If he's in the lead, he's gonna block.
Oh yeah,
he is going to block.
And we're about to find out is it's going to be 4 laps to go at the stripe. Jalen Battle's going to lead us back to green as they enter the restart zone. Green flag in the air, and we are back underway. Battle rolls into it. Here comes Warrell in the 20 on the low side, looking to make it 3 wide, thinks better of it. Solo on the top side, going to get the run off of 2. Here comes Warrell to the inside. Battle trying to block both halves against the middle. 3 wide going into 3. Warrell able to wrestle the lead away with 3 to go. Battle going to try to send it going into turn 1. Going to slide up in front of the 00. And here comes Skylar Carnes as well, trying to make some headway on the 9 of Jason Ricketts. Battle right now is for second between Jalen Battle and Dan Solo. As 2 laps to go, popsicle sticks in the air. 2 more times around. Warrell with a commanding lead right now as Battle and Solo side-by-side contact going into 1. They were trying to lean on each other, and Battle gives the position back to Solo. He's going to have to get it sorted out pretty quick, as Warrell going to take the white flag. We are racing back to checkers, as Carnes working the top side on Browder right now. That is your battle for fourth. Coming down the back straightaway with about the entire length of the straightaway to the good. Your winner, coming off of turn number 4, driving the Irwin Tools number 20 for Joe Gibbs Racing, that is Chris Warrell. Dan Solo coming home in second place. Jalen Battle hangs on for third. Travis Browder gonna get fourth. Skylar Carnes in fifth. Jason Ricketts, JB Banner, Steven Sear, and Charles Robertson rounding out your lead lap cars. Damian Mulvey rounding out your top 10, 1 lap down. So Francisco, what a finish we just saw.
I think that's what we expected. Really solid. We saw the contact between Jalen and Daniel, but you know, they were both able to keep it straight. Solid racing. I mean, that was a really exciting finish. Good, clean, hard racing.
Absolutely is. Just need to find where that young man is. And there he is. And where are we? We are there. As we are going to reach out now to the driver of the Irwin Tools, Toyota Camry, the Nacho Man himself, Chris Warrell. Congratulations on win number 6.
Oh, hey there, brother. It's a good number to have won, that's for sure.
Chris, it's never a dull moment when we get to talk to you in victory lane, my friend.
Well, I appreciate it. I try to, brighten it up a little bit for you. Try to have a personality, even sometimes it can be too much.
Well, talk us through the different tire strategies that we were seeing tonight. If that caution had not come out, do you think you could have reeled him in?
No. I had 30 seconds of damage. I mean, I was keeping with him, so I was happy to just do that. I know, I think if it was all set even, we had brand new cars. I really don't know. I'd like to believe that I could have for sure, but he was really good on the long run here. Yeah, I don't know. If it wasn't for me saving those extra tires there at the end and that restart and caution, I know I had an extra set compared to Skylar, so that really helped me. I really didn't think I was going to win it, trying to get through the lap traffic there at the end. That was pretty wild, but it made it interesting. We got to have a long green flag run, so that was cool.
That was a pack of angry hornets you had to work your way through there after that last pit stop you made. What we thought was going to be your money stop, but Chris, we go into a completely different track next week, up into New Hampshire for the Miracle Mile up in Loudon. Your thoughts going into that facility?
It should be fun. I haven't run it a lot. It's one of my least favorite. It's definitely. I'm not good at that track. I'm not too good, so I'd like to get some practice on there and hopefully be able to get a top 5 out of it. I think you're going to see a lot of the road course ringers come out and do an excellent job there, being a flat track. So either way, it should be fun. Hoping we can get a good green flag stint in that race. I know it's usually pretty chaotic in the officials, but as long as you're having fun, that's all that matters.
Well, you appear to be having fun, but Chris, we're going to let you go celebrate with your team. But before we let you do, who do you need to thank?
Rhea for putting on the league, Brian for getting me on the team, the rest of the guys, and the JGR camp. You guys putting on a broadcast, you, Tony, for always being nice to me. I can't think of anything else. Other than that, iSNF and everybody that shows up on Sundays. Appreciate them.
Chris Warrell, congratulations on your 6th win on the season. We'll see you next week at Loudon.
Thanks, man.
And joining us now, Francisco, I believe you've got the man who finished second with you now.
Yep, Mr. Daniel Solo. Welcome to the broadcast booth. Congratulations on your second place finish. Take us through that last restart.
First of all, thank you. The last restart, I I was just planning on sending it around the outside, but once we got 3 wide, I overshot into turn 3, I think, and then I got doored by the 24, but it wouldn't have mattered much because there was no way I was catching the 20. It was just way too fast for me. So could have been better, could have been worse. Pretty good though for a second.
Yeah, watching you race all day, I mean, that strategy you had where you were the last one, I believe, to stay out, it really paid off in your favor with the caution that came out. What was your strategy before, that last cluster of cautions came out?
I didn't have much of a strategy. I was just driving. I was just hoping to hold out before so for a caution so I could pit under yellow instead of green because I would have been way off if I pitted under green that late. So was just holding on and hoping for it, which finally came with like 4 laps of fuel left.
Usually drivers don't want to see a caution, but I'm sure you were really glad when it came out. Is there any shout outs you want to give out?
Big shout outs to Rhea and Linus for keeping me company in voice chat, and Rhea for running the league as well. You guys for broadcasting.
Well, my friend, congratulations on your second place. We'll go ahead and let you celebrate with your team.
Thank you.
So that was our second place finisher, Dan Solo. And joining us now, a man that's no stranger to podium finishes here in the iSNF Cup Series. Jalen Battle, I know it's not the finish you were hoping for, but all things considered, you can't be too disappointed with a podium coming out of Richmond.
Yeah, I mean, solid run there. I think I would have had something for the guys up front if cautions fell our way. We didn't have a set there at the end. Just sitting there on no tires. Couldn't get into the corner. Ran up to double zero a bit there. I apologize for that. Wasn't trying to do that, but yeah, I mean, I think I had something on the long run. We just need to get the cautions out of the way, and the cautions just kind of always were at a bad time for us, and then didn't help that messed up my pit stop in the one green flag pit stop we had. So, I mean, I'll take third now. Solid comeback we've been kind of wrecked out or bad luck or something's happened the last few weeks here. So happy to be back in the top 3.
Well, next week we go up to Loudon, New Hampshire for the Miracle Mile up there. Your thoughts going into that is a tricky flat track up there.
Oh, yeah. I mean, New Hampshire's been either a hit or a miss for us. Either we're on it and lean laps doing good there, or we're not. We're just kind of mired back in the top 10, top 15. So hopefully it goes well. I think we're getting towards the end of the regular season here. So hopefully we can turn it on and build some momentum before the playoffs.
All right, Jalen, before we let you go celebrate the podium here tonight at Richmond, who do you need to thank?
Oh, yeah, just always just shout out to Rhea and her team and kind of putting on a good show, putting on a good league. I know we had a few black flag issues there. Shout out to you guys. Always putting on a great broadcast to go back and watch. And everyone at Hendrick Motorsports and all our partners and allies there with JTG and Trackhouse. Shout out to those guys. Always fun talking to them. Always fun kind of getting some strategy, seeing what's up. And I think that's about it. Also, what's up, FJ? Shout out to you. Heard you, man. Glad to see you in there, man.
Thank you, Jalen. Like I said, me and you, we've raced plenty, so congratulations on your third place finish, man. You did awesome today.
Yeah, thanks, man.
All right, so that was third place, Jalen Battle, and we are now going to bring up the results and show you where everybody finished. Come on. There we go. Chris Warrell, Dan Solo, Jalen Battle, your top 3. Travis Browder and Skylar Carnes rounding out your top 5. Jason Ricketts, JB Banner, Steven Sear, Charles Robertson, and Damian Mulvey rounding out your top 10. Robertson in 9th, the last car on the lead lap. Eugene Thorne coming home in 11th. Robert Rowe in 13th. 14th goes to Brian Chu, Isaac Wilson, and Marcus Hagman rounding out your top 15. Adam Duff, Mike Iskandar, Brian Treadwell, Casey Tomlinson, and John Hopley rounding out your top 20. Clarence Prince, Derek Cook, Tommy Stanley, Bob Wyckoff, Rhea Ferris, your top 25. Ricky Hudgens, Andrew Cootie, Jeff Weimer, Linus Brostrom, and Johnny Castle rounding out your top 30. Casey Harden, Justin Barkley, and Zach Taylor rounding out your field of 33 here tonight from Richmond. That is going to about do it for us tonight. To be sure to check out Sunday Night NASCAR that's coming up next here on the Esports Broadcasting Network. But for Mr. Francisco Villarreal, thank you so much for joining me in the booth tonight. This is Tony Trapasso reminding you, ladies and gentlemen, that as you walk down the road of life this week, please don't play in traffic. Good night, everybody.